Champions the Pac-12. Amazing gymnastics. It's Washington. They travel to the 20th team in the land. And all around, Washington is 28. It's ASU. It's Washington. And this conference again this weekend, it's to flex how strong it is in the great sport of gymnastics. Hi there, folks, and welcome back on campus. Glad to have you with us, Olympic gold medalist Amanda Borden. My name is Darren Sutton, and we're glad you're spending this Friday night with all of us. So you've got a very young Washington team. They've jumped to about 196.5 this year. You've got a more veteran ASU team. They have gone up and over 197. I know the expectations are different. Just help us set the scene for both tonight.
Well, both teams are coming off a solid competition, but I talked to the coaches, and they both feel like they can do better. For Washington, they're young. They're gaining confidence every single week, but Arizona State is doing all the right things, focusing on the small details to inch up those scores. So it's going to be a close race here.
A couple of great all-around competitors. Let's talk about them. Hannah Scharf, Jada Mangajas. Mangajas winning last week against Arizona. What do they both mean to this program?
Well, they are a 1-2 punch. Hannah is a solid rock. She was in the all-around last week. She put up solid scores on bars and beam, but her anchor score on floor, a 9-9, locked in the win against Arizona. She's won 5 individual titles. She has beautiful skills and a great performer. Jada won her 3rd all-around title. She's a dynamic gymnast matched with consistency. Last week she had 3 scores, 9-8, her best on vault with a 9.825. So these two athletes are definitely leading this team.
Hannah from Ontario, Barrie, Ontario, and Kenna. Jada from Allentown, PA. This athlete from Iowa, Skylar Kilo Wilhelm, number 20 in the nation on beam, by the way. Mangajas and Scharf, this is what they did last week. This is a gifted beam athlete.
Yeah, Skylar is one of 3 seniors, and she continues to get better. She has scored 9 9s on all 4 events this year. She has 7 times 9.925 on balance beam, where she is ranked 20th. She's also put up her career high in the all-around. So this young lady continues to get better, and this team is definitely counting on her tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a fun one. Scharf and Mangajas and Wilhelm, the Huskies and the Sun Devils. We'll have it for you now. Again, standing taller. That's what ASU certainly hopes. But Washington, oh, what a big upset this would be. Get on the road. A young team gets older all of a sudden. We'll start it next. Women's Gymnastics is powered by Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12. And brought to you by Clean Simple Eats, elevating life through food and fitness. And by Watch Sports, the official live event guide of the Pac-12. Download today. Amanda and Darren, as the sun sets to the west, Arizonans will always say, we may not have the water, we have our horizons, and they are second to none here in the state of Arizona. ASU, as we welcome you back, Amanda and Darren, 197.25, their best earlier this year against Cal and Oklahoma. Washington, a 196.5 at Stanford. Jen Llewellyn, legendary coach at the D2 level. She and her husband leading this program now, and in her 3rd season and building. I mean, when you're in your 3rd season, these now become your athletes.
Absolutely, and she's very proud of this team. She feels like they're gaining confidence every single meet. She said they really just have to get their bearings. They've done that. They've proven that. Last week, on their very first event, it didn't go as they planned on the balance beam, and then their back 3 events were incredible. So it shows this team is very resilient. Tonight, the goal is to put it all together.
Their strongest apparatus is the beam, though. If you're going to look at all the rankings, despite what they scuffled with, they're 19th best in the land. DeSantos is the head coach, and in his 8th year, it's been a couple of generations of his athletes. I know you consistently keep in touch with Jay. What were his thoughts heading into this week?
Well, you know, he felt really good about what they did against Arizona last week. He felt like the scoring wasn't as consistent as he would like, so he wants to see his team do the same, if not a little bit better in the details, and really see where the scores can fall.
Yeah, for ASU there, 20th ranking has them at a 196.582 average, and their highest number, as we've talked about, 197.25. They'll start on vault, where they're 15th in the land. ASU inside the top 20 in 3 events. It's just the floor exercise that's been a bit of an Achilles for them, and you hate to have that, certainly, when you're working at home. They're 36th in the land. And you can see the current ranks there. 20th overall and 36th on floor exercise. That would be the closer. No better night than tonight to improve, right?
You know, they have improved on that event. They had a rough start early in the season, so Last week we saw how strong this team was, but you know, vault, the reason they've really picked up steam is they've upgraded their difficulty, so it's all about being clean on their landings.
We talk about the beam, that's number 19, vault 36, bars 28, and then overall at the 28th spot. Where have they seen more recent growth? Speaking of Washington.
Well, I think it's funny that last week beam was where they struggled, because that's where they're strong, and they're going to end on that tonight. I think what she wants to focus on is details. They're doing the good gymnastics, they're hitting their routines, but they got to hit the handstands, they got to stick the landings, not just on this first event, on all 4 events tonight.
Jada Mangajas will lead things off with a start value of 9.95. The all-around winner last week at the event in Tucson. She's 69th in the land in vault, and she is from Parkland High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is Jada Mangajas. She will start things for us tonight for ASU.
She does a Yurchenko layout full, the most common vault we've seen in college gymnastics. It's all about the position on the table, straight up, to lock it. Wow, that's a big start.
A home run out of the gates for Jada. Stuck the landing.
That's the key on this vault, because they see a lot of them. So it's going to be how high you go, how far you go, and right there, nailing that landing. She knew exactly where she was. And this is the time in the season where you got to get aggressive on the landings. Great start for ASU.
Dia Moody will start for Washington on the uneven bars as part of their lineup. Moody, a junior out of Frisco, Texas, Lebanon Trail High School. And on uneven bars, 9.875 for Moody. Her very best ever number. It was a couple of years ago against Oregon State.
This was a great event last week for Washington at the Metroplex meet. They put up a season high. Starting with the release move up to the high bar in combination. Pack salto back down. Very important, any element passing through the handstand, if it's turning, it's hitting in the angles, finishing that last handstand. Dismounting, full twisting double back. A little pikey on the landing, so she shuffled her feet a little bit, but solid start.
Now the tiniest of steps for Dia. Last couple of weeks has been incredibly strong on beam. Every meet was a 9.85 or better in 2023 for Dia Moody. A 9.875 for Mangajas. Ali Gregoire now coming right behind her. You've got more of a veteran, and now this is a freshman. She's from Moorhead, Minnesota. Her best on vault, 9.925 earlier this year. It was her lone meet title, the SIU-USU meet. Ali ready to go.
She's performing a 1.5 twist, a little off to the side on the vault table. You can see she landed on the white line. A lot of times that can happen if they twist early off the table, but actually as she came into the vault table, you'll see she's on the far side. Nice position in the air, knew exactly where she was. That extra half twist gets her a 10.0 start value. It's much more difficult to land. Nicely done.
It's a 9.875 for Mangajas. Gregoire right behind her. On the other side, Washington putting up their first number of a 9.825 for Moody, with Kristen Lynn set to go next. We'll meet Kristen. She's a freshman, one of this core of young talented gymnasts for Washington from the King's Academy, which is in Santa Clara, California. Twice the NorCal state champion at all-around, and on the uneven bars, her best 9.825 earlier this year at Iowa.
She's a Ginger release right here. Flip with a half turn. Difficult to keep her legs together. You can see that little leg separation as she caught. Winding up for the dismount. Another full twisting double back. Very nice.
Microscopic shuffle. I mean, just the tiniest of that right foot moved. Just the smallest amount. Hard to track it even for Kristen Lynn. She's been strong on vault. Everyone remembers back in November of 22, her signing day. She made her verbal the month before. October of 2021 is when she put her words to the commitment to this program. We talk about a head coach starting to have her athletes be a part of that look. Gregoire with the 9.775. And now right behind her is Gracie Reeves. Reeves with the opportunity. From Phoenix, Arizona, Sunny Slope High School, she is a graduate student, sports law and business, earning her master's degree. She's won a vault championship before in the past. And her best, 9.9 earlier this year.
Also the 1.5 twist, this one in a tuck position. Great landing for her. The most challenging part about the tuck 1.5 twist is the form. When she pushes off the table, sometimes her legs split a little bit. It's always in question how the judges see it. Let's take a look right here. So watch her legs right there. She starts to tuck and twist at the same time, but put a fantastic landing.
So 9.875, 9.775. That pretty landing for Reeves. We'll keep an eye out for Gracie's number. And for Washington, getting set to go is Olivia Oppegaard. Oppegaard is out of Newport Beach, California. What a pretty spot that is. Corona Del Mar High School. Lynn with the 9.8. Kristen Lynn with the 9.8. Oppegaard on bars, 9.875. Her career best last January at the Wasatch Championships. Made her verbal to this program back in November of 2021. A bar specialist.
Starts with a Jaeger flip, a little close. She did a nice job of blocking that bar away, but those are the small things that can throw your timing off on this event. She caught super close on the release move, so the kick cast that follows got a little out of rhythm, tipped over that cast handstand. Of course, a fall is half a point right there. You could see her arms bent, her back arched, and unfortunately it went way past that vertical line. Now she's got to regroup. Another challenging part about bars, because all of these skills kind of connect in this fluid rhythm. You broke it up, you got to re-chalk and pick it back up. Of course, 6 athletes, only 5 scores count. This will ideally be the score they throw out.
Cody Llewellyn spending quite a bit of time coaching her up, and part of that, I'm sure, the psychology of this sport. What else could Cody have been saying to her?
Well, you know, at that point, obviously, for a lot of athletes, it's shocking when you make a mistake. You don't make many in training. So he's probably just guiding her on what she needs to do.
9.85, uneven bars against Oklahoma, same number at Stanford this year.
So picking up where she left off. Her failed handstand down to the low bar. Nice cast handstand. Finishing double layout, taking that step back.
So back in the gym, back to work, obviously, hopefully using it as a positive, and that's where you have teammates. That's why you drop that lowest score. The hope is her mates will pick her up. Kilo Wilhelm right behind her might be the perfect person to do it. It's Hannah Scharf time. Reeves with the 9.875 just before Hannah. 9.95 start value. She has got 5 vault championships in events in her decorated career. 9.9 is Hannah's best.
Beautiful in the air. And nailing that landing. We saw this vault last week, and she came up really short. It was very unusual for her. I wasn't sure exactly what happened. She only scored a 9.6, and that's like not what we see from Hannah Scharf. That's the kind of vault that we're used to watching. Perfect position into the table, great technique, and knew exactly where she was on that landing.
Well, what a fun feeling that is to step up and deliver as Hannah did. The most intriguing and rewarding sport. It's almost like a walk-off home run in baseball is to watch the athletes, all of her teammates, trail down that vault right down the running track and to immediately meet her. It's so much fun to watch. From Canada, as we mentioned, and a cornerstone athlete of this program. Already wrapping up her bachelor's degree in medical sciences. Olivia's 9.025. Time for her decorated and veteran teammate to pick her up now. We talked about her coming on the air. Skylar Kilo Wilhelm out of West Des Moines, Iowa.
Aggressive first cast handstand, setting the tone for this routine. High flying pike Jaeger. directly connected down to the low bar with absolute perfect form. She finishes with a combination right here, front giant, and then into an immediate double tuck, spotting the landing, fighting for it, hanging on, gripping the mat. Good for her.
The toes have never been so strong of Skylar. Her career best 9.925. She's done that 4 times, reached that number last year.
Well, this routine may hit that mark once again. She was perfect on her opening release combination, nailed that final cast handstand, and then this is where the exclamation point came. The dismount. Clean double tuck, spots it, and then right there fighting for it. Stayed down. Good for her. She has not only contributed to this team with her gymnastics, but her work ethic in the gym, her leadership, and details like that. Hey, so what? We had a mistake. Let's come back even better.
9.85 for Scharf. Almost feel a little low, but 9.85. Theodoro now. Get to watch her work. Alex, vault and floors competed this year. Chaparral High School, a local athlete.
And a unique vault. Watch this. Twisting onto the table and off the table. Perfectly aligned on that landing mat. She has worked really hard to clean up her form on this particular vault. With all of the twisting and the tuck position, it can be challenging to keep those legs glued together. That entry, that half turn on into the handspring position, she's got to really drive her heels up and over her head to get enough rotation, and a big smile. She knows that was a great vault.
And she won it last week. She beat Arizona and all of her teammates. She was the vault title winner with a 9.9 on vault a week ago.
I think she actually tied her teammate Anaya
exactly
Smith,
right.
Who's going to be in the anchor as well. So these last 2 vaulters for Arizona State are really strong.
9.875. That's exactly what Skylar needed to do, right? Here's Lily Tubbs. Tubbs, the sophomore out of Texas, off and rolling.
Nice release up to the high bar. Perfect bail handstand back. She's a nice long swing.
9.875 last 2 weeks.
Winding up. Huge double leg.
Hey!
And a dramatic hold there on that finish.
Lily Tubbs, best in her career, 9.95. As we said, 9.875 last 2 meets.
She had a lot of speed and power on this dismount. She got incredible distance, but look at the confidence on that landing. Her arms were ready and in position to nail it.
The daughter of Brendy and Kevin, Theodoro at 9.875. He talked about it, the co-champ last year, Anaya Smith, the closer. 29th in the land on vault from Laurel, Maryland. Last 4, she's gone 9.925 and 9.9. Actually had a 9.95 a couple of weeks ago.
Nice power, small step forward. She continues to get better and better at that vault. She looks more confident. She's been a lot more consistent on the landing. Yeah, she has a lot of power on this run into the table. Look at how she snaps off the table, pushing through both hands. That really gives her a lot of rotation and power.
Boy, what a great reaction. That eye roll as she comes back and smiles with her teammates. Nothing like an embrace after performing like that. 5 vault titles as a high school competitor. Taylor Russin now. Russin, a senior out of Redwood City, California. Notre Dame Belmont High School. On the bars, 9.9, her career best. She's done it a couple times. The last time, Feb 10th against Utah.
Nice catch there, really reaching through her legs on that Jaeger flip. Gave her great amplitude down to the low bar. All that's left is the dismount. Gave her great amplitude down to the low bar. All that's left is the dismount. Finishing double layout, small step back, but pressure was on and she came through. This team continues to do that. Last week, the first rotation of beam was not their best, and then they came back strong 3 events later. They had one mistake in this rotation, and it didn't faze them. This is going to be a great start for Washington on the bars.
Taylor's last 6, she has been above a 9.8 in all 6 of those, topping out at a 9.9 2 weeks ago. And quite a close. Obviously, they'll drop the efforts of Olivia and then await that final number. Anaya Smith, 9.85 was her tally. I guess when you have a younger team, that is something you must. We talked about on uneven bars, 28th in the land. ASU needed this one. They're 15th in the nation. 49.475, their highest number of the year. They're just a tick below that, though. Their highest number. They're above their average, though. Their average 49.207. 49.325 is their number. And Washington, as you piece it all together, hanging somewhere in the mid-48s if I do the math correctly, but I got to take out Olivia's, and that puts it over 49.
And that's matching their season high. They've done that now 3 times this year.
Yeah, their average 49, you're exactly right.
And that's on course. I think one of the goals for this team was to get to that 197 mark. That is a 49.25 on all 4 events. That'll get them to that total team score they're hoping for today.
We'll step aside Washington, knowing that we've got a big one next week with Boise State, Minnesota, and UC Davis. But this is where you train, you learn on the road in a conference duel.